Is Star Citizen's Rockbreaker dungeon worthy of your time? I already had doubts before doing it for the first time today with my friends at the Rat Club, and I can now say that it is not, and I will tell you why. So, Rockbreaker is this new activity that came with Star Citizen Alpha 4.7 in the month of March, and it's basically what you'd call a dungeon, which, if you complete it, is going to give you access to one location which will be filled with a little more than 40 SCU of Savrilium, which is a very rare kind of ore that you will find in the Nyx system only. You can find it also in the system's asteroid belt, but on very rare occasions, so if you're looking for this ore in particular, you might indeed be contemplating taking part in this activity. Savrilium is, of course, useful for crafting, especially for Monde and Palatino armor sets, as well as some weapons like the P8 and the R97 shotgun. As far as I'm concerned, I don't like either armor sets, which I don't find visually compelling to say the least. I have never found much use for shotguns in the verse, and I have always considered the P8 to be one of the least effective weapons in the game, so if you have a similar opinion already, you are not going to be very interested in Rockbreaker for crafting materials. Maybe you are an entrepreneur and you see possible business opportunities with the materials that can be found in the giant rock, so you think you could acquire them and sell them to other players who might be interested in them without having to bother doing the activity. Unfortunately, you will be disappointed by the quality of the ore too. Out of all of the ore that we found, there was only one rock that had a quality in the high 700s, most of them being in the low 700s, and some not even reaching the 700 threshold. Basically, you are spending so much efforts for rocks that you could randomly find on your own in the local asteroid belts, at a very slow rate for sure, but they can still be found. I think that CIG missed the mark here, and that there should be at least a guaranteed rock with a quality of 800 or above to make it worth your while. In addition, the fact that Savrilium is the main ore that can be found there with the addition of some Torite is also disappointing. A lot of desirable craftable items need Lindinium, another rare ore that can only be found in the Nyx system. Lindinium is useful for crafting some armor like the Artimex or the Avis armor sets, but it is especially useful for weapons such as the F-55 or the Pulverizer. Personally, I would be much more interested in the activity if CIG could offer a more varied mix of ores that could be found in these big breakable asteroids. That way, the studio could create more crafting opportunities for players, because the choice of what's craftable with what can be found over there is too limited in my eyes. Last, let's talk about the fee, and in this video I will focus on the exclusive contract, which, in theory, should prevent other players from interfering in your affairs if you select it. The entry fee is above 800,000 credits. That is a lot of money that needs to be paid up front. Sure, the activity is meant to be done with a crew, so the fee can be shared between each member, but it still remains a lot of money nevertheless. In addition, you should not be counting on a return on investment. With just above 40 SCU of mineable ore, including inert materials, Rockbreaker is meant to be financially unviable if you only intend to sell the ore you find at the refinery. However, you may still make a profit if you sell your ore or your crafted items to players. The problem is that there is still no player marketplace in the game, so players have to rely on clunky methods, often using third-party systems to sell what they find or craft, and I feel that there is still much to be done on CIG's end regarding that particular aspect. So, is the Rockbreaker dungeon worthy of your time? Right now, I would say no. And that's not because the idea is bad, far from it. On paper, Rockbreaker has got everything going for it. It's a high-risk, team-based activity, it has hidden resources, rare materials tied to crafting. This should be one of the most exciting gameplay loops in Star Citizen. But in its current state, it just doesn't deliver where it matters. The rewards aren't strong enough to justify the effort. The ore quality is inconsistent. The resource variety is too limited. And when you combine that with a massive upfront cost and no reliable way to sell what you earn, the whole experience ends up feeling underwhelming. What's frustrating is that Rockbreaker isn't far from being great. A few key changes, a guaranteed high-quality deposit, more diverse materials like lindenium, a proper player-driven marketplace could completely transform this into a must-play activity. But this is Star Citizen, of course. It's an alpha, systems evolve, mechanics improve, and gameplay looks get refined over time. So while Rockbreaker may not be worth your time today, it could absolutely become one of the best activities in the game tomorrow. Until then, I'm curious, what do you think? Is Rockbreaker something you'd run, or are you skipping it for now? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, I wouldn't be able to make independent critical content like this one without my Patreon and YouTube members. As you can imagine, CIG has never supported me with any sponsored giveaway or any community hub highlight, so that means that I rely on you guys to keep the channel going. If you would like to help more than with just a like or a comment or even a subscription, you will find the link to my Patreon page in the description down below. Support starts at just $1 a month and gets you access to ad-free videos, sneak peeks, and automatic access to giveaways. I wish you guys a wonderful day as always. Take care, everyone. I've been the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys in the next one.